So, this is Mrs. Heisenmittel, and we are going to be doing a careers assignment. So, in Google Classroom, you have the assignment listed and it's got all of the steps listed for you. So, the first thing you're going to do is open this Google Doc here, which says Careers Assignment for Medical Detectives, and it walks you through how to do all the other pieces of the assignment. So the first thing it's going to do is have you take your career clusters survey, which is available for you. It's going to be available on paper. So you're going to go through and you're going to answer the questions, activities that I like to do, circle the items in each box that best describe you, make as many or as few choices in each box as you choose. So obviously you can select more than one. You add up the number of the circles in each box. So if you decide on self-reliant, that's 1. If you decide on creative problem solver, that's a 5. And then you put your total number over here in box 1. Look to see which 3 boxes have the highest numbers, and those correspond to your career clusters. So you would go through and answer questions for each of these. And if you discovered that 1, 11, and 12 are your biggest numbers, then at the end, taking a second to load there, then at the end it has you decide which of the 3 had your highest scores in it. And so you're going to answer that question, turn this in to your teacher. That's the first part of the assignment. So you also type your top 3 career clusters here. You decide which of those 3 you're going to focus on for this activity. And then you're going to turn in the survey to your teacher. Then you're going to go to the OSPI website, which has a whole bunch of information on career clusters. So notice you decide which one of those you were focused on and you click on it and it takes you to that site. For example, I focused on agriculture, food, and natural resources. So mine would be here, and it gives me an idea of what careers in this pathway look like, some examples of careers, some student organizations that might be of help to me or I might be able to find more information, what kind of education after high school I'm looking at, and then it gives me some student resources down here at the bottom, apprenticeships in college, additional resources. All of these are things that would help me find more information on a career in this field. So that brings us to here. You list 3 careers that are in that field that you like. You choose one of the careers in that career cluster. So you took the survey, you chose 3 career clusters. Of those 3, you picked one to focus on. Now you're looking at all the careers in that cluster and you're choosing one career to focus on. You're going to look through at least two of the resources listed on the OSPI site and decide if they were useful to you. And if they were, great, explain how they were useful. And if they weren't, that's fine. Just explain how they were not useful to you. Then you're going to turn in this Google Doc to your teacher. Okay, so this all gets turned in on Google Classroom. After you've turned this in, then you're going back to Google Classroom and it says, great, now you're going to go look at the example presentations. So I gave you an example one for an agronomist, and then I gave you a template for you to type in. So this is the template. It gives you the career name. Everybody gets their own copy and is making their own. You add an image there. What's it look like to be a whatever it is, outlook for your career, what kind of education do you need for this career? Why did you choose this career? So here's the example that I did, which was an agronomist. Now, an agronomist is someone who basically studies agriculture and ways to plant things. So in the career cluster, it was in the agriculture, food, and natural resources cluster. So I explained what else was in that cluster, what careers were available there. These careers all center around agriculture and food. That's what they have in common. And why did I end up in this cluster? Then what does it look like to be an agronomist? In this case, you can see they look for ways to increase soil productivity, to raise more food on the same amount of soil. They typical duties often include measuring soil salinity, meaning the amount of salt, or nutrient levels, statistical analysis of data, and planting crops. They work in agriculture industry as farm managers, farm chemists, farm chemical and fertilizer store managers, sales reps, field and lab technicians, crop management consultants. So all of these are jobs that an agronomist would do. I have the outlook nationally over here and statewide over here. I also figured out how much education I would need to be an agronomist and why did I choose an agronomist as my career of choice for this one. So that is the example which you can look at. Your job is to first do the paper survey, then to answer the questions on this Google document and turn that into your teacher, and finally to go ahead and fill out and turn in your presentation on your career. And yes, you are going to present them in front of the class next Friday. So have a great time, have some fun with it, and make sure you're actually picking something you're interested in.